talk straight up about Starliner. What's going on with this program?
So Friday, July 30th, we have the second uncrewed test flight of Starliner, known as OFT-2, and this will be an end-to-end mission test to the International Space Station.
Okay, so this is the second one. Can you tell us about the first one?
So we had an uncrewed test flight of Starliner back in December of 2019. Unfortunately, we weren't able to meet all of our mission objectives, and we did not make it to the International Space Station. So we've made a lot of improvements and modifications to the spacecraft, and now we are looking forward to repeating that test flight, this time end-to-end, so that we can look at all the data and make sure the spacecraft is ready to go before we put crew on board as part of the crewed flight test, part of which I'll be the pilot on board.
I bet you're excited about that, right?
I'm extremely excited.
So tell us the end-to-end mission. What does that entail, and what's on board Starliner?
The end-to-end mission test is really just that, a test of everything that the spacecraft can do. So from a launch to rendezvous and docking with the International Space Station, we'll then stay on board the space station for a few days. We'll be testing the undocking system departure, and of course re-entry into Earth's atmosphere, and then landing in the Western United States. On board is a lot of cargo and instrumentation to collect all this data. And of course, Rosie, the Rocketeer, is our anthropometric crew member on board that will be collecting a lot of the acoustic data, some of the G-force data, to gather that for our systems.
So this is all part of the commercial crew program. Can you talk a little bit about that and what that means for NASA and then the private sector?
The commercial crew program is very exciting. It is a partnership that NASA has with SpaceX and with Boeing to provide transportation of astronauts to the International Space Station. So unlike previous contracts, this one is really contracting the commercial industry to design, develop, test, and then execute the mission. And so this allows NASA really, as we turn over the transportation of astronauts to this commercial industry, it allows us to then focus beyond low Earth orbit to the moon as part of the Artemis program.
Okay, so you mentioned Artemis, you mentioned getting to the moon again. Recently, there's been a lot in the news, rightfully so, about Blue Origin, about Virgin Galactic, and this effort to get humans and kind of space tourism up and running. How does this program and the Starliner take that step, or does it take that step to getting humans back into space and back to the moon and beyond?
Starliner is a huge part of this effort with the commercial crew program to help commercialize low Earth orbit. We really want to open up this opportunity to commercial companies, to international partners, to develop, whether it be space tourism or science investigations in low Earth orbit. And we'll see this open up. We've already seen this year these opportunities with commercial launches into space. And then we'll see future missions where space participants and sometimes scientists will then execute a mission into low Earth orbit that are not NASA astronauts. This is going to provide opportunities to humans that we've just never had before. And we think that's the direction that we need to go. It's going to provide an economic basis in low Earth orbit. And it's going to provide a lot of opportunity for our young generation. This is all part of a huge plan to further human exploration. As part of the Artemis program, NASA, along with commercial industry and international partners, will send astronauts back to the moon. But this time, we'll be there to stay. We're looking at sustained lunar presence on the moon, where we can develop the technology and the operations needed to eventually get us into deep space to Mars.
That's exciting. That's really cool. What's the most exciting thing about this launch on Friday?
You're going to make me pick one exciting thing.
One thing. Give me the big exciting thing.
Okay, liftoff. Liftoff is always the biggest, most exciting part of it. No matter how many times you've seen a rocket launch, you can feel it rumble in your chest. And honestly, it just brings tears to my eyes, tears of pride and amazement that we are able to accomplish such incredible feats. It's also the kickoff of the mission. You see that rocket launch, you see the spacecraft go into space, and you know, okay, it's game time.
And literally tomorrow launching into the future for just the next step in space exploration.
This is the next step. Go Starliner.